next on the News at 10.
With the 19th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker, Boise State.
The pride of Riggins, Idaho is joining the Dallas Cowboys.
Coach's family and his hometown couldn't be more proud. The News at 10 starts now.
You're watching Idaho's News Channel 7. This is the News at 10.
And we welcome you to the News at 10 on a night the state of Idaho has been thrust into the national spotlight.
All because of a kid from Riggins, Idaho, Leighton Vander Esch, who, well, he was in line tonight to become the Idaho's first-born first-round NFL draft pick since Martian's Shea McClellan in 2012.
We have live team coverage tonight from Dallas, Texas, the site of the 2018 NFL Draft, to Riggins, Idaho, where just about the whole town of 400 came together to watch their hometown hero. That's where Will Hall is standing by.
But we begin with Sports Director Jay Tust in the Lone Star State, where the speculation on when and where for the Idaho Star ended. Jay?
Unbelievable night, guys, here at AT&T Stadium. And by the way, Kim, if any of those 400 people might have been missing, or if anybody was missing, I guess, from that watch party, they were likely here in Dallas with Leighton. Yes, what a special night. For the first time since 2012, the Boise State football team lands a prospect in the first round of the draft. Take a look at this video, and we're going to kind of go back and forth between the live coverage of ESPN, but also a little behind-the-scenes video that defensive coordinator Andy Avalos, the man that recruited Leighton Vander Esch to Boise State, was able to provide us. And you can see, as Commissioner Roger Goodell is on the stage talking about various other things, Leighton actually already knows that he's about to be drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. And moments ago, we caught up with Leighton to talk to him about that conversation and that phone call that he got from Cowboys owner Jerry Jones.
I thought I was dreaming at first. I didn't know what to think. My mind was just racing, and I couldn't believe it was actually happening, and how the things just laid out perfectly, and me ending up here is so awesome, and it couldn't have worked out more perfect.
What was the conversation like? What did he tell you?
he said he's turning the draft card in just a second, and it's gonna have my name in it. And he tried messing with me a little bit at first, get me a little flustered, but it was good talking to him, and he was just saying how excited they were to have me be a part of the program, and couldn't wait to get me there and get going. And I just told him I couldn't be more thankful and couldn't be more happy to be in the position that he put me in.
You know, Leighton, obviously emotional tonight. He said that he actually always wanted this to be the destination in which he came to. Being drafted by the Dallas Cowboys was something that he was hoping for. And, well, the Cowboys have made a habit of drafting Boise State football players. Leighton is actually the fourth former Boise State football player that Dallas decided to pick up. The first was Orlando Scandrick. The last two have actually really worked out so far for the Cowboys. I'm talking about Tyrone Crawford as well as DeMarcus Lawrence. And now we're going to see, Mark and Kim, if Leighton Vander Esch can kind of fit into that fold. And really quick, I know you guys are about to take this show back up to Riggins, Idaho to celebrate a little bit more, but I showed Leighton a little video of that watch party and them celebrating. He said that he had to turn his head because he was afraid he was going to get too emotional, because he knows how much it means to them and he knows how much it means to him at the same time.
Well, real quick, before we go to Riggins, tell us what he's doing tonight. He's got his family there. He's got his girlfriend there. What's the party going to be like in the Metroplex?
I mean, just to give you a little transparency here, Mark, I know that Leighton got drafted about an hour and a half ago, but because he got drafted by the hometown team, his media obligations have been through the roof. Most of the prospects have been making it from the stage upstairs to the media room in about 35 minutes. It took Leighton an hour and a half, so now he's going to go off and celebrate with his family and friends, no doubt about it.
Oh, rightfully so, yeah. All right, Jay Tuss, thank you. Okay, from Dallas to Leighton's hometown of Riggins, where this now Dallas Cowboy, believe it or not, was a basketball standout in high school.
Our Will Hall joins us now from Somerville's Cafe and Bar with the excitement of draft night for those who watch their hometown hero grow up in a hurry.
Yeah, good evening, Mark and Kim. Welcome live to Riggins, Idaho. Population 410. You see it on the sign when you come in here. on Highway 95. They're going to have to update that population sign. Underneath it, they're going to write, also home of first-round NFL draft pick, Leighton Vander Esch. Of course, this is where Leighton and his family call home. We came up here this evening to experience what this night brought this entire community, and quickly we learned that this community supports and loves Leighton and the Vander Esch family like no other. We spent the evening here to take in all the sights and sounds. Now, one person in the crowd in this video that you're seeing in particular really wanted Leighton to be drafted by the Cowboys. In the Cowboys jersey is Scott Smith. He has stage 4 colon cancer. Scott is a Boise State season ticket holder and a Cowboys diehard. He wanted to come up here to Riggins to experience this night and see his favorite Boise State Bronco football player, Leighton Vander Esch, be drafted and take in the sights and sounds of his hometown. Turns out the Cowboys diehard fan, well, he has a new favorite Cowboy that he can root for this coming season. This night, this moment, taking it all in, kind of provide a little relief for you?
It did. I mean, it senses that, you know, positive things can happen and bad situations, and you know, we look to heroes, and Leighton's one of my heroes.
It's beyond our belief, but we've always believed in him, but from a little town like this, it's really something.
It's amazing. Dream come true. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better team for Leighton. Perfect fit. So, I mean, it's just amazing.
Anytime one of our own make it, that's a huge deal. But to go to America's team is an amazing experience. And these points you're making every day to get through to these kids is actually, it's got some context now. It's got a real value.
I tell you what, guys, tonight, this moment, experiencing it here in Riggins, in Leighton's hometown, it was special. It's hard to describe. We saw the emotion, we saw the joy, we saw the tears, we saw all the smiles in the world. I think it's because we can resonate, all of us, Idahoans, people around the world, with Leighton's story, a story of hard work, perseverance, and always believing that you can accomplish anything you dream of. Wow, what a story indeed for Riggins' own Leighton Vander Esch.
Oh, a hometown hero indeed.
Love it.
Yes.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate that. Well, coming up a little later in the show, Jay Tust is going to join us once again from right there, Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, in the Metroplex of Dallas and Fort Worth. More reaction coming up. And check out our NFL Draft Live blog at KTVB.com.
All right, for now, let's turn our excitement to the weather, because if all of that talk of the NFL Draft didn't get you going, how about summer-like temperatures in April? You gotta like that.
It is. For tomorrow, I'll show you what we expect. Right now, let me give you a little preview of what's going to be taking place for the weekend. And as you can see, temperatures are definitely going to drop. There's going to be some showers and thunderstorms. Now, some of you are going to be out there Saturday morning. This is later in the afternoon to evening before you see this. This could be a little bit more on Sunday morning, so I guess if we have to have it, there's going to be a little bit of better timing on that, at least for your Saturday. Now look at this for tomorrow. Twin Falls, many areas around there hits 80. Jerome's up to 82 degrees. If you get here to the Central Mountains, Haley, 71, 67 degrees for Sun Valley. And look at this for McCall. Tomorrow's temperature will be 73 degrees. Now down here throughout most valley locations, temperatures will be well above 80. We've got the mid 80s for most spots. So here you go, Boise, 86 degrees. In Meridian, you could be 85 or 86, and even mild temperatures for the low. I'll talk about some changes that could start as early as tomorrow night. So join me for the forecast. It's coming up soon.
Cannabidiol, also known as CBD oil, is one step closer to pharmacy shelves. An FDA panel voted unanimously in favor of the experimental medication known as Epidiolex. Idaho has studied the drug for the past 3 years to see whether or not it can help with seizures. Our Dean Johnson joins us from the newsroom with what this recent news could mean for those folks.
Mark, FDA regulators will meet in June to decide whether or not to approve Epidiolex, a drug derived from the cannabis plant but contains no traces of THC, or the compound that gets you high in marijuana. Now, if regulators follow the panel's recommendation, which it is expected they will, it will become the first cannabis-derived prescription medication in the country that's approved by the FDA. Sean Adams has taken Epidiolex for the past 3 years to help treat his lissencephaly.
It's a brain malformation, so it means he's got a smooth brain. So like normal brains have the bumps and ridges, but his does not. Okay. So it causes like delays and seizures.
an experimental CBD oil medication that Sean's mother, Wendy, says has made a dramatic difference.
His seizures used to be like 20, 25 minutes, and now they're just super quick, decrease in number and length.
Sean was part of Idaho's Expanded Access Program, a clinical trial that allowed children access to Epidiolex to see if it can reduce epileptic seizures.
Reduces other medications, so hopefully one day maybe he'll just be on this.
The drug is one step closer to U.S. approval after a 13-member FDA panel voted unanimously in favor of it.
We think it's a really good sign that they had this unanimous recommendation to pass it.
The panelists backing the drug based on 3 studies showing that it's significantly reduced seizures in children.
We are reporting about how the kids are doing, so the FDA has all that information and they are considering that.
Dr. Christine Hahn helped oversee the study with the Department of Health and Welfare.
Hopefully a lot more patients will have a chance to see that this medication will work for them.
Hahn says usually when a drug is approved by the FDA, it's behind pharmacy shelves in the matter of weeks. But because the nature of Epidiolex and the cannabis plant, this drug has a few more hurdles, including DEA approval.
The DEA would have to make a change for this medication before it could be legally prescribed.
If the drug is approved, it will require a prescription. The state's Expanded Access Program would also be phased out.
The children that are currently in our program will transition to getting the medication through their doctor.
Hopefully by this time next year, maybe, hopefully, that it'll be available to everybody.
Now again, if the drug is approved by both the FDA and the DEA, the hope is that it will become available by the end of this year. Mark?
This is a topic that has been debated widely around the country and also right here. We'll continue to follow it. Dean, thanks.
An update now on the downtown sports stadium in Boise. KTVB has obtained these new renderings of what the stadium's expected to look like. Greenstone Properties filed a permit to start development on the site at Shoreline Drive and Americana Boulevard. Last week, a neighborhood meeting about rezoning the site turned into a shouting match. Head to KTVB.com for more information.
Still to come tonight on the news at 10, we have new details on the search for the Golden State Killer. Law enforcement found their suspect by comparing DNA to databases on the genealogical websites.
New tonight, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has made history by crossing over the border with South Korea. It is the first time a member of the Kim dynasty has set foot on southern soil since 1953. The two leaders have finished the morning session of their summit and plan to meet again in the afternoon for talks aimed at resolving the standoff over the North's nuclear weapons.
Oh, that's a historic video. Bill Cosby was found guilty of sexual assault in his retrial today. The jury found the 80-year-old guilty on all 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Cosby now faces a maximum sentence of 10 years and a fine of up to $25,000 on each count.
Prosecutors say they used online genealogical sites to find a DNA match for the Golden State Killer. 72-year-old Joseph James D'Angelo is charged with 8 counts of murder. Authorities say they used DNA collected from a crime scene of the Golden State Killer and compared it to online genetic profiles. DNA was linked to a relative of D'Angelo's, and he was identified through family trees and good old-fashioned detective work. He is scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow.
After burning for more than 8 hours, the fire at an oil refinery in Superior, Wisconsin, way up north, is out. People who were evacuated are being allowed back into their homes tonight. At least 11 people are reported injured after a crude oil or asphalt tank exploded.
Amazon is raising the price of its annual Prime membership fee by 20% next month. It'll go from $99 to $119 per year. That higher rate will kick in for new members starting May 11th, renewing members on June 16th.
And a reminder that Channel 7 is always available for you free of charge. And so is Rick Lance's forecast into the weekend. Up and down next.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers, presented by the Idaho Lottery and Idaho's very own 24/7.
Ever since telephone cords and video stores, Russ Fulcher has been running for office, making noise, accomplishing nothing. When Butch Otter and Luke Malik stopped Obama from running Idaho's healthcare, Fulcher whined and fought it. Washington's already full of blowhards. Luke Malik was raised on an Idaho ranch. He grew up with the Second Amendment, lives his Christian faith. He's conservative, the real deal. Luke Malik.
I'm Luke Malik, and I approve this message.
Bit by bit, putting it together. Piece by piece, only way to make a work of art. First of all, you need a good foundation, otherwise it's risky from the start. Takes a little cocktail conversation, but without the proper preparation, having just a vision's no solution. Everything depends on execution. The art of making art is putting it together.
In Idaho, your word is your bond. I'm running to be your governor, so you deserve to know where I stand. I know that marriage is between a man and a woman. I know that life is God-given and precious, and we must protect it. As a third-generation Idahoan, I know the importance of the Second Amendment and your right to protect your family and your property. I'm Brad Little, and I know conservative values are worth fighting for.
Today's Morning News with Maggie O'Mara, Doug Petcash, Larry Gebert, and Joe Paris. Winner of the 2017 Regional Emmy Award for Best Morning Newscast.
It's music's biggest night.
I love you.
Billboard Music Awards live May 20th on NBC.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
We're getting pretty close to the weekend here, so we're going to start out tonight. Now, this is just going to show you just Boise, and this is our Skycast, and it'll provide the temperatures overnight. And I think the biggest thing is how quickly it starts to warm up tomorrow toward the 86 degrees. So let's get this started. As we go through this evening, you see the temperatures start to drop. We're down to about 60 degrees. By tomorrow morning, we still have some temperatures into the 50s. Now, just shortly after 7 o'clock, we should be some of the coolest temperatures. I've got a low for tomorrow morning down to about 52. This particular computer model is showing about 54 for the low temperature. And then when I run this up to 10 o'clock, there's 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, already up to 66 degrees. So the difference between today and tomorrow is the fact that this morning we started with kind of some cool conditions. It'll be there in the morning, but it's going to warm up quickly through the morning. And we could be up into some of those 70s by about noontime, okay, as these temperatures come along. Speaking of the morning, sunrise is at 6:43. We're going to have plenty of sunshine. Some clouds will start to show up going home time in the afternoon. So I've still got the 52 for a low. And here's your high tomorrow afternoon, up to 86 degrees. You see, around noontime, I've got the temperature at 72 degrees. Big day tomorrow for Friday. Now, today's high temperatures were right around 80. Ontario had an 82, and so did Nampa. You see, Caldwell with 81 degrees, Boise had 81. So these are your temperatures. And in the mountains, even some 70s. Got a good shot of Sun Valley today. Basically down in the valley locations, the snow is gone. Not on top of the mountains, but down in the valleys. Now here's what's taking place. I showed you a while ago what the weekend looked like. Temperatures were going to drop, kind of windy conditions, especially Saturday, Sunday afternoon. High on Sunday about 60 degrees. I think the best chance of some showers is later Saturday and early Sunday. We might even have a slight chance tomorrow as you look here over the northwest, already starting to show up off this low as it continues to push in. So we got the heat tomorrow below it, but we also have some moisture showing up here in southern Oregon, eastern portions of California, as well as the western sections of Nevada. Now, what's going to take place with this is that some of these clouds about noontime tomorrow, you're going to notice that some high clouds are going to start pushing in. Later tomorrow night, we're around 7, 8 o'clock, there's a chance of an isolated thunderstorm, and that's with this first wave coming through. The second one is the part that you can't see so well here off the coast, but it is going to develop, and we're going to see it take a similar position, only coming in a little more from the west Saturday night as well as Sunday. And that just about does it for Sunday, because that's going to be cooling off the temperature quite a bit for the area. So you can see that we do have some storms that are starting to kind of spark up here in some sections into northeast California, and that's what's moving our way tomorrow toward the Boise area. And that's going to likely get here in the afternoon, and the possibility of maybe some mountain showers is best. That's going to be for later tomorrow evening, but there's even a slight chance here in the valley. So for tomorrow, 86 degrees, low temperature tonight down to 52. You've got your sunny skies there. There's your thunderstorms for Saturday. Temperature was 66. It's 60 on Sunday. We still have a few, but I think it's going to start winding down on Monday. Then when you look at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, we start to dry up. We still have quite a few clouds around, but the temperatures warm up too. So by next Thursday and Friday, we're going to be seeing high temperatures mainly into the lower 70s. And yes, we're going to be cooling down just a bit over the weekend. I've got a 30-day outlook, which is just kind of a trend of things, and it doesn't look like there's anything extreme for the month of May coming up. You know, temperatures will remain somewhere like around 70. Not really get much ahead in the 80s in the month of May.
Well, I'm just concentrating on that 86 tomorrow.
Just get by that.
Gorgeous.
And then it's the weekend.
Do not 86 that 86.
Yeah. Oh, that was good, Mark.
Yeah,
all right, thanks, Rick.
Still to come tonight, we're going to head back down live to Jay Tust in Dallas for more on Leighton Vander Esch going to the Cowboys.
Plus, local kids honored for being a beacon of hope in their school and community. The Wasmuth Center for Human Rights held their annual recognition event tonight at the Morrison Center at Boise State.
The nonprofit organization, now 20 years old, dedicated to the crusade for peace, justice, and human dignity, recognized 6 local high school students who in different ways have raised awareness about human rights issues around the region, around their communities, and around the globe. The students received the center's Upstander honors for being beacons in their schools and community. The event tonight featured a performance of letters from Anne and Martin about the parallel worlds and kindred spirits shown by the writings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Anne Frank. That was followed by a musical performance by Senator Cherie Buckner-Webb, local singer-songwriter Steve Eaton, and others. Earlier today, get this, the Morrison Center was filled by local high school students from all over the region who filled the Morrison Center twice for 2 performances of this acclaimed 2-actor piece, Letters from Anne and Martin. And I'll tell you what, there were very few dry eyes in there at the climax of this piece when Martin and Anne are both simultaneously talking about the injustices that they were suffering through. Martin, of course, in a Birmingham prison, Anne Frank in a concentration camp, and it was moving. And what a message. And what a message these young people, those 6 youngsters, are giving us, knowing that there's hope.
We're learning from them.
We are, and there is hope in this community because of those kids.
All right, congratulations to all of those. Yeah. All right, let's send it out to Jay, who is live once again for us in Dallas. Hi, Jay.
Hey, Kim. Yeah, our live coverage from the NFL Draft will continue. Coming up after the break, yes, we're about 2,500 miles away from home, but Dallas is already going to feel like home for Leighton Vander Esch. Hear why, coming up next in sports.
America's best value is at Dennis Dillon Kia. New Kia Soul, 0 down, $188 a month. Or Kia Optima sedans, an unbeatable 0 down, $179 a month. Dennis Dillon Kia, the heart of Auto Row. 9501 Fairview Avenue, Boise.
Honestly, our love seat was terrible. Like, it was pretty hard to really watch a TV and get comfortable.
She couldn't get comfortable. We found a solution that we had never considered.
You know, we went to RC Willie.
We have a great selection of motion sofas and sectionals like this power reclining sectional. With supple leather seats and deep cushions, you'll add both style and comfort to your home for just $29.99.
There's room to spread out now.
I love you.
I love you too, honey.
The sun's back, grass is green, and every part of you is yelling, get out there. So grab the keys and crank the tunes, because Toyota will get you there.
Right now, get 0.9% financing on Tundra, or get up to $1,250 cash back on Tundra Crew Max, all with Toyota Safety Sense at no additional cost.
So let's get out there and see your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Tommy Alquist and Brad Little changed direction quicker than a snake. Alquist says he supports Trump but didn't vote for him, and flip-flopped on Common Core and spending. And Little voted to increase funds to Planned Parenthood and add $200 million in new taxes. We need conservatives, not snakes. Raul Labrador is the right choice for governor. Labrador defends life, Second Amendment, borders, and healthcare freedom. Raul Labrador, conservative for governor. Protect Freedom PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Idaho has some big decisions to make this year.
Be a part of it.
Be a part of it.
Get out there.
Get out there. Make sure your voice is heard.
Make sure you vote in Idaho primary elections on May 15th.
VOTE, vote.
Up to 11 grand off new Dennis Dillon Alfa Romeos. With Alfa Romeo Giulias now $279 a month and Stelvio starting at $369 a month. Or choose 0% financing for a full 60 months. Where Orchard Street and the freeway meet, Boise.
Welcome back live inside AT&T Stadium, where day one of the NFL Draft is officially in the books, and Leighton Vander Esch is officially a member of the Dallas Cowboys. From Riggins to Dallas, what a journey. I want to share this message with you because Darwin Vander Esch, Leighton's dad, had this to share with me last night. He said that kids live in small towns because their families make their living in those small towns, and that necessarily shouldn't be counted against kids. Well, take a look at Idaho's history of players that have actually made it to this stage. Small town football players. It worked out pretty well for Glens Ferry native Corey Hall, as well as Marsing's Shea McClellan's. I'm going to include Council's Matt Paradis, and now, of course, Riggins' Leighton Vander Esch. Pretty cool right there. This is the draft video from a little bit earlier this night. We go back and forth from the actual live feed to the behind-the-scenes look at Leighton waiting his moment to be brought up on stage by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. In becoming a Dallas Cowboy, Leighton will actually reunite with two defensive stalwarts that used to play for Boise State, Tyrone Crawford and DeMarcus Lawrence. Reuniting with them is something he's looking forward to.
It's something special, isn't it? I think it worked. Like I said, it couldn't have worked out any better. I've had a smile from ear to ear ever since the moment I had my name called by them. I think it's ironic. It's a coincidence how things have went. Getting the chance to play with those guys now and be on the field with them, it's awesome. And I think it's just a testament to how things have worked out and the Boise State players and how we're wired. So I'm looking forward to talking to them more and actually being able to play with them and just enjoying every single moment of it.
I wish I could make this up. This is actually perfect timing. Kellen just chimed in, by the way. He says that he loves it. Another Bronco on the Dallas Cowboys football team. But obviously, Kellen is now the quarterbacks coach for the Cowboys, so that's pretty fun right there. We're going to kind of continue to keep this in the family because in the NFC East, that means that Leighton, a linebacker, will actually square off against an Eagle running back named Jay Ajayi. Kim and Mark, have you heard of him? Maybe? Yeah. Yes? No? Maybe so? Jay tweeted this out today that he remembers a freshman named Leighton Vander Esch terrorizing the first teamers when Leighton was a scout teamer, and now Leighton and Jay will get to play each other twice a year. That should be a fun game to watch, I'm not going to lie.
And I can't help but think that Boise State has become the AAA farm team to the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. No fewer than 4 Cowboys have come from Boise State over the last 8 years.
I think they like us.
It's pretty awesome. And hey, yeah, they do. We showed you a little piece earlier when we were talking with fans before the draft even began at the fan experience. The Cowboys fans knew who Leighton Vander Esch was because of the school he went to, and they were ready to welcome with open arms another Bronco on their football team, and that's exactly what happened.
They got him.
I just love seeing that small town of Riggins cheering on their hometown hero. All right, Jay, thank you. We're back right after this.
River City of Riggins, Idaho. The party continues, and it will for a long time.
Now Dallas Cowboys.